Hi, I'm John, I'm 21, and this is my year of running, 2023. My legs are in pieces. 2023, let's do this! Okay, this race isn't exactly going how I wanted it to. I absolutely loved every second. Here we go. There we go, we're about to head into 2024. It is currently New Year's Eve, just been out for my last run of the year, and it's been quite a year for me in terms of running. A lot more running than I've ever done in my life before, so there's quite a lot to unpack. There are going to be 4 parts in this video, each covering something a little bit different to hopefully review the year that we've had and have a little look at what next year is going to look like as well. Let's get started with part 1. Okay, so we know running is all for the enjoyment and everything, but if you're like me, you like a bit of the stats as well. So I'm going to give you some of the stats of my running this year. Total distance, the big one, 1,284 miles or 2,066 kilometers. On this day last year, I set myself the target of hitting 1,000 kilometers this year. So needless to say, I managed that. I did 346 runs, although that includes obviously like warm-ups and cool-downs. The actual number of runs I went out for was 255, I think. Elevation, 58,852 feet. It's quite flat in Newcastle where I do a lot of my running. However, down here in Devon, it is very hilly, so that's been upped a bit in the last couple of weeks. I've done 11 different races, all the way from university races to the Great North Run, which we will touch on later. My biggest week of running was June the 5th to the 11th with 35.68 miles, although just this week I've done 34.98 miles, so I'm pretty sure that number is going to go down, possibly even early in January. Biggest month of running has been this month, December, with 147 miles of running. Some PBs for you. I got a PB in 4 events, or at least these are the ones I've taken. I raced the mile for the first time, and then I did it again, and I got 5:38, which is obviously 5:38 a mile or 3:30 per kilometre. That was in South Shields on June the 7th. They do a mile every month from the club Run Eat Sleep. I'll put the video from that run in one of these corners. I got a new 5k PB as well. I somewhat neglected it after I hit sub 20 for the first time in March, which was an incredible achievement for me. I was so happy with that. Did that at Parkrun, and then I got another PB at Parkrun again on November the 4th of 19:22. That is 6 minutes 14 per mile, 3 minutes 52 per K. And I did mean to go back to that and get sub 19 because I'm pretty sure I'm in the shape to do that. The year got away with me a bit and I didn't manage to get back to that. That's fine. That'll be a thing for January, hopefully. 10k was a bit interesting. I ran one 10k race, which was my first ever 10k race, and I got 44:48, which is 7 minutes 13 per mile or 4 minutes 29 per K. That was on July the 19th, and it was in Exeter. It's the Exeter 10k, organised by City Runs. That was an interesting run for me. Again, I won't go into details. There's a video that I made about that as well. Didn't go totally to plan. I was aiming for 42:30. That is definitely a PB that I'm looking to improve on in 2024. And then finally, my half marathon PB. I did get a half marathon PB, even though I haven't really properly raced a half marathon. 1 hour, 57 minutes, 57 seconds on March 26th in the Tavy 13, which is a local race, very hilly. I ran it with my dad and just happened to get my best official half marathon PB. I've run a quicker one than that in training. Then Great North Run was going to be faster, but legs just fell off a bit. Heat got to me. And as you probably know, there is definitely a video about that. So that PB will definitely get improved on in 2024 as well. So those are some of the stats of this year. On to part 2. Okay, some highlights of the year that aren't just all numerical based. First of all, my main thing has been consistency. That's one of the big things I've improved on from my other years of running. At the start of 2023, I decided to get more consistent with my running. January was a bit weird, but February I started really trying to do multiple runs a week, and that has got better and better throughout the year. I've done at least 1 run a week, even when I was ill, and if I wasn't ill, probably at least 2 or 3. At the start of the year, I was aiming for around 30 kilometers a week. That upped a bit, 40k. Then I went back down to 30k over the summer when I was really busy, and that was probably the time that I'm most proud of my running in some ways, because I wasn't running massively far, I wasn't running fast, but I was doing a lot of other things in my life that took priority over running, yet I still managed to fit in a little bit of running and maintain fitness, which is really good. That has all culminated in the past 12 weeks with a Strava graph that looks like this, which is just beautiful. I'm feeling the most motivated and consistent with running that I think I ever have. That has obviously resulted in an increase in mileage, and I'm really seeing the benefits in fitness now. As well as that, I've managed to run with friends and family a lot more. What I really really enjoy about getting better at running. I love the fact that I can now run a sub 25k, I can run fast, things like that. That's all really good. It's good fun. However, I also really appreciate just being able to go out for a chatty run with someone and still hit a decent pace and not get exhausted. Just be able to go out for those easy runs, I really appreciate as well. Parkrun was a big part of my year. I did 33 park runs, volunteered at one when I had tonsillitis, and that has been a staple of this year. I haven't done as many in the recent months because I've actually been doing other stuff like races, which are often on Saturdays, but it's something I definitely want to keep up in 2024. I love the community around Parkrun. Eden Project Parkrun was my favourite parkrun of the year, and one I'd recommend you get yourselves along to as well. Down in Cornwall, in the depths of Cornwall, it's a fantastically interesting place where if you run the parkrun, you get free entry into the Eden Project itself, which is incredible. It's really good value. It's like 50 quid, I think, if you pay for it. So you can run the parkrun, get in for free, and all your supporters will get in for free as well, which I think is fantastic. Big part of this year has also been NUAXC, Newcastle University Athletics and Cross Country Club. I finally joined my uni athletics club, and it's been so fantastic. Joined in September. That's definitely provided me with even more motivation and knowledge. Running in a community, running with a group has been so good. Those longer runs, I've often done them with groups since September, and that's been so enjoyable and made me run faster as well. I really recommend, if you haven't done much running with people in 2023, 2024, get some friends, run with them, because it doesn't matter if you're going slower than you want to or they're going slower than they want to. Running with other people really elevates your enjoyment of the sport. And of course, I started a YouTube channel to document some of my running adventures and to show my life running with Crohn's as well. The YouTube channel has also given me more motivation. I love making videos and I love documenting what I'm doing to look back on them in the future, and hopefully you are getting something out of them as well. And the reason I started the YouTube channel was for this. We need to go to part 3. The Great North Run. This was a massive part of my year and a goal I've had for a while to do. It's been in my head, something that I wanted to experience, and I finally did it in 2023, and what an experience it was. So I started the YouTube channel to start fundraising for it. I raised money for Crohn's and Colitis UK, which obviously, as someone with Crohn's, is a charity very close to my heart, and it was such a big event. It was really big in my mind. I loved the build up to it. Yes, obviously summer with a lot of other things going on, I didn't really manage to train for it, but I went into it with a really good mindset of wanting to enjoy it, and I really think I achieved that. The atmosphere was inexplicable. It was amazing. On the day, it was just like nothing I could have imagined. That first 5k was not the fastest physically that I'd run, but it was one of the fastest mentally that I'd ever run. It was incredible. The crowds, almost all along the route there were crowds, people handing out food, people cheering you on, people saying your name because it had it written on your number. Absolutely insane atmosphere. Yeah, it wasn't the result I quite wanted, blew up a little bit. It was the result I wanted in the way that I enjoyed it. I made myself slow down and not absolutely go to the death. Looking back on it, I'm always like, oh, what if I just kept going? It would have been a good time. I would have been dead at the finish, but it would have been a good time. And I'm glad I didn't really. The Great North Run is never going to be a race I'm going to be able to do particularly fast, just because of my other life as a musician means I'm very busy in the summer with festivals and things. Festival culture doesn't particularly go in line with running culture. I'd love to go back there and enjoy it again as just like a steady long run. And obviously one of the main parts of it, I raised £350 for Crohn's and Colitis, which is incredible. Thank you to everyone that donated. That really made it mean a lot and made it very special for me, I think. Off the back of the Great North Run as well, I also got so much motivation to keep running, to get better at running and to run more. So for that, I'm ever grateful, and I will definitely be back. So 2024, what will that year look like for me for running? Well, you never quite know, I guess. You know, I could get injured. Anything could happen that means I don't run as much as I want to, or maybe I suddenly get a spurt of motivation and fitness like I did in 2023. Maybe I'll run double the distance I intended or something like that. But I have set myself out some goals. First of all, I'd like to go back to the mile and definitely break 5:30. I think I can do that. If I could get closer down to 5 minutes, that would be absolutely fantastic. We'll see where that goes. It won't be a focus of my training, I don't think. It will definitely be something to do on the side. 5k, as I mentioned in part 1, this is definitely a goal that I think will fall hopefully early in the year, January if possible, and that is to break 19 minutes in 5k, which means running 6 minutes 7 seconds per mile or 3 minutes 48 per kilometer. which does sound a bit daunting, and because I'll probably do it at parkrun, I'll need to run a little bit faster than that to allow for the extra distance and slight inaccuracy that parkrun courses can sometimes be. There will definitely be a YouTube video of that when I do it. I'd like to revisit the 10K and try and get that goal of 42:30 again. It's definitely in there somewhere. Hopefully, if I have a good day, good race day, I'd have thought I could even push it down closer to 41, maybe under 41 would be incredible. And the half marathon, I'd love to revisit that. I don't think I've ever felt strong enough for the half marathon to do it to sort of the best of my abilities, if you see what I mean. But I think this is going to be the year. I want to put in a dedicated half marathon block, find a race, and try and get under 1 hour 40. I know that's a big jump from my PB, but I reckon I can do it. I've done a couple of long runs recently that have been 10 miles at around 8-minute miling, which is around 1 hour 45 half marathon. And if that's just a long run, you'd have thought with a bit more training, I could push that down to 1 hour 40, which is 7 minutes 37 per mile or 4 minutes 44 per kilometre. Because if you look on some like VDOT calculators and pace calculators online, my 5K time is ridiculously different in terms of level than my half marathon time. Got a pretty good 5K time and a really distinctly average half marathon time. Those are my PB goals. I also want to run 1,500 miles, hopefully. It's about 30 miles a week, just under 2,500 kilometers as well. It's a bit of an arbitrary goal in some ways because, again, you never know what might happen with injury or illness, but something just to try and keep me motivated and consistent. From a bit more of a holistic perspective, I obviously want to continue documenting on YouTube and Instagram my running journey. I really like the social media side of it as well. It's quite fun, and I think there are a lot of people that have running Instagram accounts and running YouTube, but because everyone's experience of running is so different, I think you can see it from a lot of different angles, and I'd definitely like to make more content surrounding Crohn's and how I deal with that, because I still don't think there's enough content or information surrounding that on the internet. And finally, bottom line, get fast and have fun doing it. I really want to look to improve this year on a lot of my PBs, but obviously I want to continue to enjoy it as I have been for 2023. So that's basically it. That was my 2023 and a bit of my plans for 2024. Hopefully, if I'm still around doing this kind of stuff, in 2024, I can do another video of this, look back on this one and compare it and see how I've done. Obviously, a big thank you to you for joining me on this journey. I think when I started the channel, I had about 8 subscribers, and that's gone up to, I think, 79 at the moment, which is incredible. Thank you so much for the support. Let me know if there's any content you want. What kind of running stuff don't you see on the internet and you want to see in either YouTube form or Instagram? To keep up to date with what I do, follow me on Instagram at Hinton Runs and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It really helps me to get more motivated to make videos, and obviously it helps the algorithm as well. That's it. That's 2023. Tomorrow I have parkrun in the morning, start the year off with a bang, trying to get a course PB on my local parkrun. It won't be a 5K PB because it's very hilly and traily, but I'm going to try and give it my all and set 2024 off to a good start. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in 2024.
The last kilometre, absolutely dying. That was pretty insane. These shoes, yeah, there's something else to resolve. So happy with that run. Seeing them walking, having a beer. Oh, that is like the last thing I want right now. Good, I improved. Score 4. This is enjoying it, isn't it? It means sacrificing speed, but who cares? I'm here for the experience.